You've probably all heard of Starlink low Earth orbit satellites. So Worldmobile is a leader in low altitude platforms, has recently become a world leader in stratospheric platforms. We have fixed winged aircraft that are running on hydrogen that will go up to the sky. Right now it hasn't been built, but we do have our own airplane which is floating our own multi-channel omnidirectional radios. These radios can connect 500,000 people at once, but they need to work real fast. So a real use case is having something flying at 20,000 meters that is then reporting back to the Earth network, that is reporting back to chain and keeping all of that data on chain, knowing when there's a proof of coverage, a proof of service, and knowing who connected there without us being gamed, frauded, because we don't own the infrastructure, the sharing economy owns the infrastructure. So we see that as a real use case. But beyond that, more simple use cases is, as a telco, the things that you have to do to acquire a customer is crazy. The cost of acquisition of a customer is crazy. So by splitting up the job and giving it to the people and giving them the lion's share of the revenue that comes through the system, not in a token, but in the local currency, whether that's Korean won or whether that's US dollar, because ultimately you make an investment, you own a piece of infrastructure, you don't want inflation, you want to know that there's real money coming into the system. And by having a token, it's very easy for any company to say, yeah, I'm doing great, push more tokens into the market, yeah, I'm doing fantastic, hype. Eventually the bubble pops. So real world use of application is simple stuff, like having an agent that knows for a certain demographic, for a certain area, for a certain financial restraint. Like in Africa, Tanzania is very different than Kenya, and Kenya is very different than South Africa, and Pakistan is very different than Philippines, USA is very different than the United Kingdom, and Korea is very different than anywhere else. So having an agent that can run around and acquire users for you after it's learned what is the best for this particular demographic is really important. And beyond that, you've got many other use cases that you can bring to the table, the ones that we haven't even thought of. So then having the LLMs that can be programmed into a testnet by our operators, by the information that's come there, you now all of a sudden make yourself extremely efficient. We're acquiring around 150,000 paying users every month on a budget of zero, right? Because we have AI running around and doing what it needs to do. And we started this in the emerging markets, we then took this to the United States of America, and now we're bringing this here to Korea.